everybody, welcome back to another video for the week. I mean, I would say welcome to another weekly vlog, but I haven't actually been keeping up with my weekly vlogs because life has just been so busy. Like, whew, it is all happening. Different home, different atmosphere, different vibes, different emotions, different workplaces, all things different. But as different as everything is becoming, and God remains the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And that is currently been, will always be what is sustaining me and keeping me going, guys? So first and foremost, just wanted to apologize for the last couple of weeks that I haven't actually vlogged or put a video up. I mean, I've actually recorded things here and there. And so I was like, I should just put it together. But then it just doesn't make sense. Like, I just don't want to put a vlog that just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't go with the last. Was it fast? Anyways. Like the last vlog, I think the last video I've put up was my Nana's funeral, just snippets and clips from Samoa, which I took from lives that were happening over there because I was obviously not there. And that sort of type of video that I put together, and videos that were sent to me from my mom and from cousins and stuff like that. So I believe that is the last video that I've uploaded. But since then, even before that, so much is happening. God is moving. God is doing something always. And so let's start from the beginning. I was actually eating, and then I was like, you know what, Denise, you haven't put up a video, or you haven't spoken to the camera. When is that gonna happen? How are you gonna do it? What's up, girl? So I just come home. I had my sushi. I was eating, and then I was watching. What was I watching? Oh my goodness, it's in my head. SWAT. I was watching SWAT, SWAT, which is like a criminal show with Shamar Moore and a bunch of the girl. So I was like, let me just eat my lunch because I haven't eaten all day. It's about I got home about 4ish. I was at work, got home. The alarm is going off. This building's evacuate, and I'm like, what? I just want to go inside and sleep because I had a really late night last night. I was able to catch up with a few friends, and then after that I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get up for work. Anyway, so I got up, had a coffee, and all I just wanted to do was come home and just chill. And the alarm's going off evacuate the building. So then I was just walking around, and then let me tell you, so I'm walking around, obviously, when people say evacuate, people don't really move. They're just what's happening? Unless they really see something and they're like, oh my God, I have to go, come on, guys. Anyway, so then I'm just going to tell you this quick story before I go back. And so, I was walking, and then I was walking towards my door to actually walk in and swipe my keys and stuff like that. And then the girls, I'm to the girl, oh, is this an actual evacuation? This girl, she was like, I was like, excuse me? I was like, the attitude was real. And then, she didn't even say anything. She was just like that. I'm like, Jesus, you better come. So I was like, okay. And so I was just stood there, and then I actually walked away, but she was still lingering. And I'm like, man, people can be so rude. I just asked the question. All you could have done was answer it, but you didn't. So I was like, okay. So then that happened, and now I'm here. And so I was eating, watching, downtime, let me just breathe. Eating my food and watching SWAT. And then I was like, oh, let me do a video. So here I am doing a video to all my fam that's out there. And welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I am Denise Muntafa. This is me. And I'm always I hope that the me that you see just like randomly anywhere is the same me that you see right here on the screen. I mean, you know, obviously if I'm by myself and I have this resting face, like just walking and minding my own business, and okay, like don't judge me right away, okay? Just come say hi, and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, hi, thank you so much. And so yeah, like, you know, so welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you for joining the fam and coming along with me on this journey of all things family, friends, and faith. And if you've seen majority of my previous videos, I share my family and friends and things and events that I have with friends, just catch ups and life, literally journeying with my friends as well. Friends, those you see on here on this channel, those are the real ones. If you have not yet seen yourself in this channel, sorry, I'm kidding. But I am mindful also that there are people that do not want to be recorded, and I get it. Like I respect it. You gotta respect. There's that, and family, and my faith, my God. I am a daughter of the Most High. I am a Christian. I am a Pentecostal. I go to a Pentecostal church. And I am what am I? I'm a daughter of the Most High. I'm Denise Montafa, who was born a sinner, and Jesus came, died for me, and it's all because of him. It's all because of him that I am who I am and the way I am, and what you see is what you get because of God, of Jesus dying on the cross and the finished work of Christ. God sent his son down here, died on the cross, his blood was shed, our salvation is in his blood, and here I am. So that's all things, not all things, but that's my faith and my God and my relationship, and literally why. You want to know why Denise is like that? It is my God. And so that is what I also like to share and encourage others with on this channel. Just if it makes you laugh, if it makes you smile, if it just gives you some sort of encouragement throughout the day, take it and go with it. Like, just go and flourish, fly like an eagle. That's my stand. Like, and so yeah, and I know I may not reach like millions and millions of people, but I will, that one person that's sitting in this room asking God, or just wondering why they're alive, and just like, I'm done with this life. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to that person also who just feels like they're just not good enough. They're not pretty enough. They're not smart enough. They're not, their families are not well off enough. Their families are so dysfunctional. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you because, girl, brother, me and you on the same boat. You know, the boat that Peter was on, and Peter was like, oh my gosh, is that Jesus? And he's like, Jesus, can you tell me to walk on the water? And then Jesus was like, yeah, walk on the water. And then he walked, and then he looked at Jesus. And then he was like, he looked away from Jesus, and then he was like, oh my God, I'm drowning. And Jesus like, bruh, where your faith at? Where your faith at? I'm talking to you. So I hope that is what you get out of this channel as well, to encourage you. And if you have any questions, please ask. If I don't have the answer, I will tell you I don't have the answer. And when I say in terms of asking a question, and you know, obviously like I struggle with commenting back to people, when it's like a question that is personal and like someone wants to know, I will get back to you. Like, you can find me on my on Instagram. Instagram is the coconut_real. Coconut is spelled with a K, KOKONUT. The coconut_real, REAL. And that's basically this coconut keeping it real with you. And so, that is who, you know, I'm speaking to on this channel, and as well as documenting things of my life, you know. And so thank you so much for oh my God, it's been 10 minutes. Sorry guys, 10 minutes already. And I haven't eaten my food. Like, I've already eaten. So that is who I'm talking to when I'm speaking on faith and, you know, friends and family. And that is, you know, when I receive or catch that revelation of who I am and reading his word in truth and in spirit. And when I grasp that revelation, I do would love I share it with you. And it's through that we can that we have that relationship. If you ask me if I'm in a relationship with anyone, yeah, I'm in a relationship with the Lord right now, okay? And it's the best kind of relationship to be in, and then he'll lead you into the one that he's perfectly created for you. The perfect relationship comes from the one who created relationships, and then you just go like this instead of like that, And so I'm here to remind you, to help you in however way. And I mean, obviously, if we don't physically see each other and stuff like that, I hope that you can watch some videos and hear something, feel encouraged and receive an encouragement word from it. And so, yeah, that's just like a nutshell, my channel in a nutshell. That show is pretty like big, hey? And so, yeah. All right, that is just like a really, really quick update on, I don't know what I was talking about. Like, I'm so sorry. But that was that. Okay, let me just get back to what has been happening up until right now. Right now. Okay, so from Samoa, I came back from Samoa, and during, I think, the last year, 2022, I just felt there was like something that I was feeling. There was a sense that I needed to not move on and just like forget about where I was. I needed to move on. I just needed to, I felt like I needed to move on. And so I was praying about it and just sitting on it for a bit. And during my trip in Samoa, like a nail hit the head. Like it was like a moment. I was like, okay, I need to make this move. And this move included me moving out of home. And so since coming back from Samoa, arriving back, like literally a week after arriving back, I was starting to pack my things, and it was mutual. I told my mom when we came back, mom told my dad, and they were just like, okay, cool. And I mean, obviously I'm old enough to make my decision. No jokes. I'm an adult, and there is that, sorry, I'm not rolling my eyes. There is, that there's this cultural tradition or just expectations of a parent that when a child moves out of home, it is because they are getting married. Bum, 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 right? Yes. And it's not because it's like a do or don't. It is, it's pretty much in the Bible. Let's start from there. It is in his word that says a man will leave his home and go read your Bible. And yes, so there's that aspect of the expectations of parents, and I guess in some way also my expectation for myself as well. Like, okay, if you are an OG of my channel, you will know my story. Please go and watch it. About my testimony, I shared my testimony, and that explains a season in my life that I went through. And it was that season that had that was like opened a door for me to really begin to discover who I am and who my God is, and really surrendering my life. So that story is part of my journey over her. And so, yeah, so then I was like, okay, since then I was like, will remain with my parents until I'm married. And I think the older you get, the more you're like, okay, like I have no issues. I had no issues with, obviously, like staying with parents and adult siblings. You're just like, you do have moments where you would clash, right? And so it was like kind of that, not because we hated each other or anything, but it's because you are older, you have your own needs and wants and things that you like to do in a particular way, but others in the household may not want to. And so it's kind of like, okay, God, please help me. So based on like that and a few other things, it was like, it hit me when I was in Samoa. I was like, oh, okay, I hear you, God. This is my time to move. So I came back. When I was in Samoa, I messaged one of my friends like, hey, is that room still available in your house? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay then, but what are your thoughts if blah 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 blah? So then she was like, oh my gosh, yes, like you are most welcome. Like, why did we not? Because she was also looking for a roommate, blah blah blah. It never came to mind about me, moving in with her. So then when I came back, I told my mum told my dad was still overseas. And then after that, from then on, I started moving my things. And so all that to say that I've moved out of home, and your girl is roommating with a dear friend who I'm pretty sure you've seen in these videos. My friend. And so, yeah, I've moved together with her. She has her own space. I have my own space. She's like a mother. She's always like, are you hungry? Have you eaten? But like, when we made, we've obviously gone through boundaries and what you can, like, you don't have any obligations to me, Denise, to say where you're going, blah, 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 and pretty much make your own food, and that was what we agreed on. And yet every time she comes home, have you eaten these? And I'm just like, oh, bless her soul. I wake up and there's juice on the table, and here I am not doing a single thing. And I'm just like, girl, like, stop, just cook for yourself and do it yourself. But she's like, no, but when I cook, it's like for two people, so why not? And I was like, okay, whatever. Anyway, so that happened. Moved out of home. Uni's about to start in next week. I'm about to be starting uni again for my second year. My second year, 1, 2. So that has been good and exciting and nerve-wracking, obviously, because I'm like, it's been a while and I'm so scared. Anyways, but I just know, I was like, God, you brought me to here, so you better do what you gotta do. Like, you open this door and I know you're gonna continue to walk with me through these doors. And so that happened. And then also, as I was preparing for going back to work with the school crossing, being a school crossing supervisor, it just did not work out with everything else that was going on in life. So I unfortunately had to resign. I was so sad and I hated doing that. But even in the midst of that, as that door was becoming to close, another door opened for me to actually apply for another job opportunity, which is now the job that I've accepted and am at right now, thanks to another dear, beautiful friend. Thank you, friend. And I just appreciate you guys and love you guys so much. Thank you for loving and caring and being just making the world a better place. So thank you. So she messaged me when I was in Samoa and asked, if you were interested, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I was telling her what I actually do and what my days consist of and what I've got as like this. Do you think I'm able to add this into this? And she was like, yeah, sure. While you're on the break for uni, it could be something that you could just do for extra money. And I was like, yeah, that'd be good. So then I applied for it, and long story short, I got the job. Praise the Lord. And this job is right next to my actual uni, right next to public transport. So I no longer actually drive to work as much as I did before. So I actually catch public transport because I live close to the public transport. And so I was like, God, my God is so good. And so I'm just like, in awe and just at peace. Like, it's just the peace that surpasses all understanding, And so it's that peace that I'm currently at, even in the midst of chaos, there's so much going on though. Like even in the midst of like I'm sharing, there is so much going on. And I just feel like there's so much people going through, and I'm praying. You know, there's power in prayer and just power in having that conversation with God, telling God all about it, cranking up like worship music and belting out that praise, because even through that is prayer to God, because he hears you and knows before you even say it, but he wants to build that relationship with you as you praise and worship him in spirit and in truth. So that has been what has been like, I'm like, yo, where were these doors when I was at my job that like years ago, I was like there for like 15, 20 years. And I was like, man, I'm never going to leave this workplace. Never. And then all of a sudden, like uni, now that I'm in uni, I'm like literally working 2 jobs. I've never worked 2 jobs in my life, which is the other job is working for my senior pastor, which is also nerve-wracking. I'm like, this is my senior pastor. This is my senior. Oh, this is not a good look, Denise. This is my senior pastor. But I'm learning so much, and I have a tendency to go kind of like quiet when I get like not intimidated, not like, but I genuinely am in awe that I'm even sitting in this position that like me. Like if you watch, I haven't shared my last communion where I was speaking about being an outside, like Denise sitting in amongst these men, spiritual men of God, women of God, and I'm just like, am I sitting in the right? Like that's literally me all the time. So he was always like asking, if you have anything to add it. And I was like, I don't really have anything to add. I just like to listen and just like, you know, just do my role, do what I'm called to do, which I believe is a calling over my life, a calling that I'm faithfully stepping into. I mean, I have, a little bit of fear. Like this, when I say a little bit, like that fear is not overwhelming me. Like there is always going to be fear. But the greatest fear that I have is the fear of the Lord, and fear of not stepping into what he has opened, not what the men and the flesh have. It's what he has opened for me, So I was like, oh man, God is good. And so, yeah, that's happened. New job, new environment, new home, and yeah, lots going on. But that is kind of like the 3 main things that are going on in my life right now. Everything else is, well, that's just personal and private. Nah, jokes. I mean, I'm real. Like I keep it real with you guys, and I tell you what I need to tell you, and I keep what I need to keep. Like that's called discernment and wisdom. Wisdom and discernment, and and that's just how it is. That's just how, what, and why I share and do what I do. And so I think, yeah, it's been such a long time since I've actually sat down and actually chit-chatted with you all for a while. So this is, 23 minutes, Denise. This, I thought, well, why not just sit down and have a chat, have a chat. And even I was telling my friend, I was like, oh, I haven't actually been vlogging. Like, it's like my mind's just so full of things right now that it's like, it's not that it's not a priority, but it's like, I think when I'm breaking it all down, it just will just confuse people. So I hope this video is, is doing some sort of justice to bring some sort of clarification for you all, to be like, oh, so that's what Denise Simontuff is up to. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. And if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram, thecoconut_real. I'm pretty active, stay active on there, as well as here on my channel. But I will continue to remain vlogging. Like every week, there's always something happening. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Lord. Thank you for your goodness and grace, mercy and righteousness, and that you are a just God. Oh, the other thing is, before I finish this, is I started this plan to read the whole Bible in a year. And this plan was more of a challenge and a journey. I wanted to take myself, personal journey on, to take myself take myself and what was I saying? Sorry, I just got a message from my mum and it sounds serious. So whatever I was going to say, I've forgotten. Oh yes, it was the Bible reading for a year that I've decided to give myself a personal journey to go on throughout this year. The reason I'm telling you, so if you ask me any questions, is to keep me accountable to see which book I'm up to. But I really believe that is a foundation, and God is taking me on this new sort of like, not that he's a level type of God or anything like that, but there is like a shift. There's a shift in me that he's calling me into, and that shift includes and involves his word. And if it involves his word, then I'm going to need to spend time in his word, and it's intentional time in his word. And this plan also is like, there's like devotions before the actual readings begin. So it's a devotion, and then it gives a snippet of the chapters that are being read on that day, and then it goes through there. One of the things that I'm absolutely in awe of since I've started this is how hand in hand the Old and the New Testament go together. And so the way it goes from like the Old Testament, and then it reads what it reads, the New Testament reads what it reads. And so I'm like, wow, God is so good. And so yes, okay guys, I'm gonna have to shut this down because this call that I'm getting looks like it's an emergency and I need to take it. I might need to call them back, but stay tuned for the rest of the year, for the rest of what's to come. Be blessed. God loves you so, so, so very much. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm sorry that I didn't eat my food. It was just there the whole time. Bless you, and God keep you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.